Growing up in the southwestern part of the country, this dish just brings me back so many beautiful memories. And it reminds me of the aromas during hatch season, where all the grocery stores, most of the restaurants are roasting the chilies right outside, making it super easy for you to take home. You do have to peel them. So it becomes a whole family moment. Everybody joins in, peels the chiles, and then we make something like this. Come in close because you guys are going to need another bite. This recipe does come out a little bit brothier in the Instant Pot, but let me tell you, it's perfect. I know it's back to school season. You guys are exhausted with the summer. Everybody's still very hungry. So this is a perfect recipe to make for your family. Cheap, quick, and super easy. Hatch chili season is here, and you know what that means. It's chile verde pork stew, but we're gonna start by roasting some hatch chilies, making some fresh flour tortillas. And I've already made this recipe super easy for you before, but today it's gonna get even easier because it's less cleanup because we're using our Instant Pot. What you're gonna need is some pieces of pork shoulder, and now we're just gonna give it a quick seasoning. To your pork shoulder, you're gonna add 6 minced garlic cloves. You're also gonna season with about a teaspoon of salt and half a chopped medium onion. Once you fully season your pieces of pork, you're gonna add 3 tablespoons of all-purpose flour. Wanna make sure to coat every single piece of your pork. Flour is gonna make sure that our pork sears beautifully, and it's also gonna thicken our sauce, especially since we're gonna be cooking in the Instant Pot. We're gonna need that. I know it's back to school season. You guys are exhausted with the summer. Everybody's still very hungry. So this is a perfect recipe to make for your family. Cheap, quick, and super easy. A quick tip that always works for me. When I'm gonna sear anything on the Instant Pot, before I start prepping anything, I like to place it on saute. Even if it takes 15 minutes for you to prep, that's 15 minutes of heat that's on your Instant Pot for a better sear. So that's exactly what I did. Now to the Instant Pot, we're gonna add a little bit of lard. You can use oil at home, whatever you feel comfortable with, but this recipe really brings it home when I use some lard. It's beautiful. And I just wanna make sure that I coat the bottom like this. Now I'm gonna start placing the pieces of seasoned pork right into the Instant Pot. Try not to crowd it too much, and once you place it down, do not move it. If you want a stronger sear, you can also sear this part on your pan and then move everything back in here. But right now, we're looking for easy cleanup, quick cooking, and this is the best way to do it. I'm gonna allow everything to sear for a good 6 to 8 minutes, and I'm not gonna move anything. As you can see, there has been no juice released, which means that we have a really good sear. Now I'm gonna go ahead and season with 1 teaspoon of cumin, 1 teaspoon of black pepper, and 1 tablespoon of Mexican oregano. So if you're not too crazy about oregano, you can use less. If you love it, you can use a heavy hand like I do. Now go ahead and give that a loving mix. And there we have that beautiful sear, all that flavor at the bottom of our pan. We're gonna go ahead and remove all those tidbits when we add our chicken broth. And for the chicken broth, all I did was use some warm water and some chicken bouillon. Super easy, very quick. So go ahead and add 2 cups of chicken broth and start scraping all those delicious flavors. Now you can add your chopped hatch chilies. And what I did is that I used 6 that are mild and 2 that are spicy. 1/4 of a cup of chopped cilantro. Then you're gonna give that a loving mix. Usually I blend some of the hatch chili, but since we're gonna be using the Instant Pot, it's a pressure cooker, you'll see how everything just gets soft and tender. You're gonna place your lid over your Instant Pot and you're gonna pressure cook for 10 minutes. Remember, it takes about 5 minutes to warm up, then it starts your 10 minutes, and then you're gonna do a slow pressure release. I'll be linking the recipe that I used for today's tortillas in the description area. It is super easy to make, just like this pork chile verde. And boom, done. We're ready to serve. Nice and tender to the touch. And your flour tortillas. Now I'm gonna need somebody very special to say Well, this dish just takes me back home. It brings me back so many wonderful memories. And I love how the combination of mild and hot hatch chilies really balance the flavor of this dish. The pork is buttery soft tender, and the flavors are bold and charming. That is absolutely delicious. Yeah, if you guys can take the extra step and make homemade flour tortillas or corn tortillas, it's gonna be worth it. As always, my family and I are wishing you the best. We absolutely adore you. And on that one, we'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye. Adios.